right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome out to Speed Racing Network, where we present the Auto Club Recruitment 200 for our Cup Series this season. My name is Sean Griffith. I am joined by Byron. So, Byron, hey, buddy, how's it going, man?
It's going all right tonight, man. Just ready to get into this race and see some good racing and hopefully find some gems and diamonds in the rough.
Well, for those of you that don't know, Byron McDonald is a driver for Revved Racing down in the Truck Series. And so just the fact that he's in the Truck Series and he's as good of a driver as he is just shows how strong a team like Rev Racing can be.
Yeah, we got a great group of guys this year in Revved, and I joined the team last year, even though I wasn't in the season with you guys, and enjoy the team aspect of it. And we got a great group of guys here tonight in the Cup Series as well.
Yeah, we've got 100 laps to figure this thing out. And by the looks of it, we got about half the field that is already on a team and half the field that is not already on a team. So we're going to see some new people. We're going to mispronounce some names tonight. We're going to do all sorts of fun stuff. But let's just jump in and talk about what's going on this season in Speed Racing Network Virtual Series.
Yeah, we got the Truck Series, Xfinity Series, and Cup Series. As you can see on the screen, we're giving away some good prizes to the top five. iRating brackets tells you what group of guys we got here. So tonight we got the 2,000 to 4,000 iRating. Great group of guys. These guys you're going to see from near pro down to, some average guys, but they're all great talents, and they're ready to take on the track tonight at Auto Club.
Definitely. And the big thing that you need to look at is they're at the bottom, the top five prizes. And here in the Cup League, $1,000 for first place. And so definitely putting out some big money. And that's not even including the money that they'll win from week to week.
Oh, yeah. Big prizes here. When I got wind of the Speed Racing Network, I just from being inside the group, I've seen great things outside of that. And those drivers are going to be going for that. And, when money's on the line, tempers flare. And so I can't wait to see what the season brings.
Oh, yeah. And tempers will definitely be flaring because tonight we're going to basically go by the rules that we're going to be living by during the season. And so one of those rules is no fast repairs. And so that just makes it really, really tough to get around this track without making mistakes.
It puts every lap at a premium. You got to take care of your stuff, take care of your tires, take care of your equipment. One small dent can flare your whole night and put it up in flames.
Yeah, and we've seen that a few times, and we've seen a lot of really great racers not even finish the race because of mistakes of others. And, Byron, a lot of people get angry with that stuff, but that's kind of racing.
I love it. It draws an aspect of, okay, do I make this move now or do I wait 2 more laps? So it really brings the cream to the crop. And if you're able to take care of your stuff and be fast, then you deserve that first place prize. And sometimes you come up short.
Well, we also have a team prize out there, and so each team is allowed to have 5 drivers. Some of our teams still have some spots open, and so this is a really great race for those team owners and team managers to figure out some new talent.
Oh, yeah. Auto Club is a driver's track. If you're good, you're good. If you're not, you're going to struggle. And if you can tame Auto Club, a lot of the tracks on the circuit that we're going to drive won't be as difficult as this track we are tonight.
Absolutely. So another thing that we have going on just tonight is the Hard Charger Award presented by Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing. And so whoever gains the most positions throughout the night from their starting position is going to get $10 free and clear.
Yeah. Speaking of this award, the truck recruitment race the other night, driver drove up from, I believe, 28th up to the lead and got that Hard Charger Award. And now he's in the league. So hopefully we get another good night tonight for the Hard Charger Award, and can't wait to see who pulls it home.
Well, we've got really big news for the Speed Racing Network family here, and it's all about being a hard charger because we've got Kane Cook. Now, Kane Cook is a Coca-Cola Series driver, so he is one of the top drivers in iRacing. In fact, he has more hard charger awards than anyone else on iRacing, period. And so he is going to do a group training session with Speed Racing Network Saturday, December 26th. A perfect Christmas present. So at 8 p.m. Central at Chicagoland. And what's so interesting about that is Chicagoland is where we're going for week number 1.
Oh, yeah. Kane Cook's a great guy, man. I've worked with him myself in a group session like this, and I can tell you my game has gone up so much since that one night that I spent with him. And great down-to-earth guy. You can ask him any question. He'll give you answers. A lot of guys come into iRacing with that goal in mind of being this guy right here. And I will say that getting with that guy is the best possibility to get to where you want to be.
Oh, absolutely. And we're going to have some information on the Speed Racing Network in the Discord channel. So if anybody would like to sign up for this, it's $15 per person. Only 10 people can get in. We'll have some more sessions later on throughout the year as well to get a little bit get a few more people into it. But man, that is going to be a huge thing to improve our drivers.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. And I know Kane's excited about this, and we're just going to dive feet first. And I think he's going to be able to help our drivers not only be better in this series, but possibly move up to that pro level with these guys in the Cup Series that are in that 2,000 to 4,000 range. This could be the one thing that gets them over the hump. So they definitely want to get in these sessions and work with this guy.
Yeah, now let's talk a little bit about the teams that we have coming in that already have most of their drivers put together. And let's start off with Bronco Motorsports. And Chris Massey has put together a nice little team here, but he still has an open position.
Oh yeah, Chris Massey sitting up there at the top of this list here. I know about him. I haven't raced with several of the other guys, but I know Bronco Motorsports in the Truck Series is pretty tough. I can only accept the same things from these guys in the Cup Series.
Oh yeah, Austin Reedy was a great driver in four wide racing. Was one of their top drivers there, and so he moved over here. Brad Herman is one of those guys that if he's not on iRacing, it's because he's either sleeping or eating.
Yeah, I can relate to that one for sure, for sure.
Next up, we got H2K Motorsports and Joseph DuPont. He's a road course master, and he's put together a bit of a team around him as well.
Yeah, I absolutely love the graphic, by the way. Great graphic work. As far as the team aspect, it's like that guy right there, Joseph DuPont. You know, he said he's a road course warrior. He can affect these other guys and show them certain tips and show them how to be that great as well. So I love the team aspect as far as the teams go.
Yeah, next up is your team, Revved Racing, and this is where Adam Pettit, he's the captain of Team Rev Racing in all three leagues. Adam Pettit is here to shine, but he's brought a team with him.
Oh yeah, Adam Pettit, Danny Dow, Damian Lenninger, Brandon Key, Alan Dobbs, all great drivers. I run with them weekly, and let me tell you, it's hard to keep pace with these guys.
Next up, Team SRN. This is the home team, the factory team. And so they've put together Bobby Brill, Brian O'Shell, Travis I'm going to see, I told you I was going to butcher this name. Storjahan is what I'm guessing. Preston Michael and Chad Wampler. I know Bobby Brill won the championship last season.
Bobby Brill, Shake and Bake, Brian O'Shell, they're both back here with SRN. Bobby Brill looking to get a repeat. It's going to be very difficult with these drivers coming in and the drivers returning going to new teams.
Next up, we got the Filthy Five, and they are rated F for just plain filthy. And you can see it's Brandon Browning and Timothy Latham, Kyle Spees. You got Oscar Jensen in there. You have Lacey in there as well. I mean, I'm telling you, this is the team to beat.
Yeah, I definitely got my eye on this group of guys. Brandon Browning leading the way. Great driver. Timothy Latham, straight speed and consistent. And that's what you need in drivers as far as the team points go.
Then we've got R&D Motorsports, and so they are based out of Tennessee, and you can see that Tennessee flag shining bright right there in the middle of the screen. But you got Thomas Rutherford, Justin Boyles, Jordan Sailors, David Duke, and Mitch Rollo, five guys that we have heard about throughout the seasons.
Oh yeah, I raced with David Duke a couple times. That man's a tough cookie to crack, man. He's a good driver. Thomas Rutherford consistently fast. Justin Boyles. This is going to be a great team to watch for in the team standings.
Last but certainly not least, Roel Smith Racing. So this was last year's Striker Motorsports. They formed their own team this year. So Jake Roel got together with his buddy Jacob Smith, and then they've got Dean Brummett, who was runner-up last season, and then Scott Healy is kind of a newer driver to the series, and then they've still got an open spot. So great team here.
Oh yeah, great team altogether, top to bottom, consistent, fast. And I look forward to them to competing in the team championship this year for sure. They'll be at the top of the list.
All right, well, qualifying is over, so let's jump down and find out what is going on out here. And it looks like Jake Roel himself from Roel Smith Racing is up front, and then your buddy Adam Pettit in second.
Oh, yeah, Rev Racing represented well there with Adam Pettit and Brandon Key. I just hope that they keep him up front. I know Adam's strategy here is take care of those tires and take care of the car, so we'll be looking to see what happens here.
I mean, going down this list, all the top 10 here are already on a team. So Jake Rowe, Adam Pettit, Brandon Key, Austin Reedy for Bronco Motorsports, Timothy Latham from the Filthy Five. You got Jordan Sailors from R&D Motorsports, Danny Dow from Rev Racing, Justin Boyles from R&D, Bobby Brill from TNSRN, and Scott Healy from Roel Smith. So those top 10 are showing out, and they are showing these guys that haven't raced with us yet how it's done.
Oh yeah, if you're coming into this recruitment race not in the league yet, you're seeing the cream at the top now, and you know who you're going to be chasing the rest of the year if you do make it in to the league this year.
Yeah, we got a newcomer in there, Robert David Ballantyne. So don't see him on any of our teams right now. So he's an independent from Canada. And then Tristan Bailey from Bronco Motorsports as well. So 11 of the top 12 already on teams. But we've got 33 drivers that registered tonight. So we've got a lot of guys here.
Oh yeah, top 12 is looking solid. Robert showing his speed there. Maybe a team might look at that and have their eye on the night, him being in the top 12.
All right, well, let's bring it out to the track as we see the cars pull off. And so while we're going around this huge 2-mile track here, so what do you think are the keys to the race?
Tires, and tires. Last race I came into, the recruitment race this past week, that's what it was tires and staying out of the junk. You want to get up front and stay up there, and at the same time take care of your tires. So this track here will wear on them. They're old. It's an old track, old surface. And so I fully expect these guys to – I think it's going to come down to fuel mileage and really who has the freshest tires at the end of the race.
Well, just like any other recruitment race, these first few laps are going to be the critical laps because people are trying to feel each other out. They're trying to figure out what everybody's going to do. And so don't be shocked to see a caution or two here towards the beginning, but they'll get settled in because these are the best of the best on iRacing.
Oh yeah, on cold tires, this track will just spin you out just for no reason at all. So I expect these first 2 laps to be a little shaky, but the guys settle in and hopefully keep it clean.
All right, so Jake Roel, he is going to get that green flag as the pace car dives off, and we are going to get the Auto Club Recruit 200 started with Jake Roel.
Got a great jump there on the inside line. He's jumping out to a big lead here.
So right behind, you got Brandon Key on the inside. You have Adam Pettit on the outside. A couple teammates there. They're not going to hurt each other too badly there, but the more they're side by side, the further away Jake's going to get.
Yeah, it's a race to that bottom line here. And Auto Club fits that bottom line, and if you can get there and hold it, you can control the race.
Looks like Timothy Latham just pulled into 3rd position, so now they're starting to get lined up, that top 5.
Here we go, the crowd, the group spreading out here. The top 3 breaking away. They're still side by side there, 4th through 5th. Hopefully to get in line here and go catch these leaders.
Timothy Latham diving down to the bottom, but he's not going to be able to catch Brandon Key in 2nd place, but Jake Roel leads that first lap for us.
Jake Roel leading the first lap, Brandon Key in tow. He's getting down to that white line, not all the way yet, but we'll see what happens here.
It looks like we got 29 guys out on the track, so 4 of them didn't show up for the actual race, but 29 drivers in a recruitment race is not a bad thing.
Oh, no, we got a big crowd here tonight, and can't wait to see what actually happens. These guys are moving through the field here, and they're all chasing Roel.
It looks like we got a couple guys out there in the chat. So David Duke rooting on Team R&D and Team SRN, so he's the team captain for both of those, really. And then we got David Swift, one of our other drivers in there, Sean Kosher as well out there, and Brady Watts looking to watch this race here tonight as well.
Yeah, the guys in the skies tonight, not every driver from the league gets in here. Some of them are on scouting standards. So they're here watching the race and seeing who they might want on their team.
Oh, there's that. I mean, some guys, they just have to work right now and all that stuff. I mean, iRacing is a true commitment because you have to be there week after week after week. And so a lot of guys, they arrange their schedules to work during the off season and then get in here when it really counts.
Oh yeah, don't let my wife hear you tell me that. 'Cause I'm pretty committed to iRacing, but oh yeah, tonight I told her, hey, I'm taking the night off. I'm not racing, but I'll be in the broadcast booth, so.
That's right. If you're not racing, you're doing something with iRacing regardless.
Brandon Key getting loose there. He got up top, so he's gonna I would hope that he let Latham here and fall back in line, because you get stuck on the outside line. You see this train of cars coming behind him. They are gonna train him if he does not get down to this bottom real quick.
Yeah, Latham really, really good at getting up to the front and then holding people off. I'll tell you, Jake Roel, He is not a huge tire saver. Jake likes to put as much distance on everybody as he can and find out, whoa, and we got somebody, Smith. That's Robert David Ballantyne, I believe.
Oh, yeah, got in the grass a little bit there. Luckily, able to save it. Cars around the being aware, let him come back on the track. That could have got really bad really quick.
Oh, I'm mistaken. That was actually Jordan Sailors. So Jordan Sailors, the 55 car, got down into the grass.
Oh, yeah, he saved it. He's lost a little bit of pace trying to get back in line here. He better get back in there and catch that draft, or he's going to get trained on the outside.
And you can see the train going up front.
Oh, yeah, the battle's heating up for second here. Brandon Key still, he dropped back to 5th there.
He did. That's Adam Pettit up in 3rd place, right behind Timothy Latham. So putting on some pressure. Then Austin Reedy, again, a really good Cup driver that we found in 4-wide racing. He is up there in 4th.
Adam Pettit putting pressure here on Latham. He has a way of pushing it, but making you use your tires up before he uses his. And I don't know how he does it, but I'm sure he'll let me in on a secret at some point.
Well, I know I've talked to Adam a ton over the past season that we've dealt with him, and basically he says that he runs his race, doesn't let anybody else dictate his race, and that's really boded well for him. He might not win every race, but he's always up there in the top 10.
It's all about consistency. As you see, the inside car got a little tight there coming out of the corner. Almost getting to Adam. Adam's going to let him go. That's Reedy there in 4th, going for 3rd.
Yeah, so Austin Reedy actually still has not made that pass, so they are still side by side as they're coming down into the turn once again. Now Austin Reedy will get by.
You see the pressure as Adam cuts off Brandon Key. I don't know if he let him in or not, but you know the pressure of getting back down to that bottom because the outside lane will just eat your tires up.
And then Adam pulled the over-under move, and now he is down on the bottom side of Austin Reedy as well. And so we're going to see if he can maybe hold it down there. Looks like we got a little bit of a wreck back towards the back of the pack. That's Josh Morbitzer. He actually went directly into the pits once he wrecked. So still green.
Staying green. As you said, Jake Roel likes to use his tires up. I wonder how that's going to come into factor here. We're 8 laps in, and he's out well ahead of the pack, just under a second, and it's going to be hard to catch him.
Well, you know, he likes to gamble this way, and I call it a gamble because, I mean, if this thing goes green, then he's going to start to fall back. These guys will start to catch him. However, if it stays, if you get a couple yellows in here, then that is a brilliant tactic on his part.
Oh, yeah, there's a risk-reward for everything here. I was in the same situation kind of, on I think it was Tuesday night, or Wednesday night it was actually. Same situation, I was out front. Do I pit? Do I save these tires, or do I let this second-place car go? He's out front, not even getting close, and these guys are going to pack up probably and try to chase him down.
It looks like out in the chat we got Cody Riggs saying, smooth and steady, Pettit, go Rev Racing, and then Dominic Moretti saying, come on, Healy. And that's Scott. That's Scott Healy from Roel Smith Racing. He's back there in 6th position, so not too far off the pace. He is right there with all these other guys.
Cody Riggs, one of our truck drivers in Rev Racing. Great guy, great personality. Shout out to him for watching tonight.
Oh, we got a yellow.
Oh, cautioned out.
Looks like Brian O'Shell involved. Looks like I don't see who all's involved there. James Oxford, I believe, already left the track immediately. So let's go back. We're going to have our first wreck replay by Next Diag.
Next Diag, great company sponsoring us. Appreciate them coming on board with us. Them and Sparkle and Shine as well.
And so you'll see just a couple cars coming together on the outside. Takes a spin, and that's the number 31 of Jean-Raphael Marine. And he gets spun as well. The number 22 there, I believe that's Alan Dobbs from Rev Racing as well involved.
Alan Dobbs, great driver, caught up in the mess again. Hopefully he's able to recover from this. Just unfortunate, got a little loose there coming out of the corner, and I think that kind of stacked the field up and thought he was clear, and 50 was not clear.
Yeah, I believe that was the 31. That's Jean-Raphael. I'm mispronouncing his last name, I'm sure, but it looks like that is what kind of started up the stack up. You can see he just gets a little loose. Let's see if he got tapped. Oh, yeah, he did. He definitely got tapped there. That's
two drivers going for the same real estate.
That's the 60 of James Oxford that just gets up into him, starts the spinning. Everybody kind of checks up, and then all of a sudden we're 3, almost 4 wide. There's just not enough room for everybody.
Yeah, he did a great job on the initial save. It was the 50, I believe, or 60 that ended up causing everybody else to be a casualty of that. And unfortunately, there the 22 of Alan Dobbs caught up in that one. Hopefully, his damage is not too bad, as you see, just tapped him on the right side. So we'll see if he's able to recover and try to get to the front.
Yeah, but even that little bit of damage is enough to knock you out. Now, you've got Jake Rowell up in the pits right now. Pretty much everybody came into the pits, and so nobody's still out there on the track just yet. Timothy Latham is going to take the lead in pit lane.
That looks like it might have been a two-tire stop, which would have been a great thing, only being 11 laps into this. So we'll see how that plays out.
It actually was not. He actually it was a 15-second stop, and so that is a 4-tire stop, and he just beat Rowell off.
Hats off to his pit crew. They need a raise this week.
Not bad. We've always wondered in iRacing, so how do they make all the pit stops so equal and everything, and somebody not get screwed by that? But pretty much all of these pit stops I'm seeing that were 4-tire stops are anywhere between 14.7 and 15.5, and so that one, 0.8 of a second basically is all you're talking about.
Yeah, you're also got to factor in the getting on and getting off pit road. How will they get into their pit stall? And that's a big key that not a lot of people focus on, but when it comes down to stuff like this, Timothy Latham out front now, so he's in control of this race after getting on and getting off pit road better than Rowell.
Well, his teammate Brandon Browning is out in the chat right now, and he says, "Say it for me, just plain filthy." And that is the Filthy Five's motto, just plain filthy. And that is what's going on right now. Timothy Latham leading this race.
Yeah, just plain filthy, man. Great play on the on the team name, man. I love it. And we'll see if he's able to hold on to this. He got a great group of guys behind him that was going to be pushing.
Yeah, Timothy Latham, the only one of the Filthy Five out there on the track tonight. Doesn't hurt his feelings, though. He's showing everybody how it's done, regardless of whether he has a team out there or not.
Oh, yeah, he had a great race last week as well. I believe it's at Homestead, correct?
So a really great race there. I'll tell you, so we were talking about Brandon Browning out there in the chat. Brandon is a fantastic commentator, one of my co-broadcasters for a long time. He's going to skip the 2021 season on broadcasting to focus more on the racing and just life in general. And so we wish him all the best. Miss you, buddy, and hope we get to chat with you here soon.
Oh, yeah, some big shoes to fill. I saw the opening tonight, so I said, hey, I'll give it a shot. Why not?
It's perfect. It's perfect. We're glad to have you. All right, so we got Timothy Latham there on the inside. We're going to have Jake Rowell on the outside, Adam Pettit in the third position, and then Justin Boyles in the fourth position from Team R&D.
Oh, yeah, great group of guys up front here. Again, hopefully get a green flag run and let these guys race a little bit. That 10-lap stint there is going to shake up the tire situation. So here we are going back green.
I'll tell you, the number 8 of Justin Boyles, who's in fourth position, and Timothy Latham had a lot of great battles back in the IVCS league. And so it'll be really interesting to see if we get a few more of those.
Oh, yeah, they definitely don't forget. As a driver, you don't forget your rivals. And it definitely is. It makes it a lot more fun.
So Timothy Latham getting a nice jump, already jumping out to a 0.3 of a second lead, and then oh no, Pettit gets spun. I think he may have just lost it. He gets into Justin Boyles there. Oh my goodness, we have all sorts of chaos.
Absolutely, I told you the cold tires, man, it'll get anybody, and that inside line I learned is not very friendly to the cold tires at the start of a run, and we saw evidence there.
Oh, we are going to have to go back and figure that out. But I think I just saw Adam Pettit just kind of lose it. So we're going to go back with another Next Diag Rec replay. And yeah, nobody touches him. So nobody touches him at all. And it just looks like he just gets a little loose, wiggles, hits Justin Boyles.
Is that transition, as soon as he hit that seam, that seam is dangerous on these cold tires. Whenever they warm up, you can ride that seam around and get more speed out of it. But he hit that seam, lost the back end, and caused mad chaos behind him.
So we'll see Justin Boyles just spinning on the top of the track. There's nowhere for any of these people to go. So Danny Dow involved. Let's see, the 86 involved. I mean, my goodness, everybody is involved in this. That's Tristan Bailey that's involved there with Bronco Motorsports. Oh, boy, lots and lots of damage, and so there are going to be a lot of cars needing those fast repairs.
Again, no fast repairs tonight.
Oh, that's
So
right. Oh, I forgot. See, I
this
already made the
changes the
mistake.
complete aspect of the race to where a guy that was riding around in the back wanting to keep it safe, his plan worked out. So we'll see who comes out of this and who still has a front end after that race.
Well, Timothy
After that
Latham
round.
stays out. So does Jake Rowell, Brandon Key, Scott Healy. So those four staying out. And then we're going to get a few new guys up here in the top 5. So Bobby Brill, last season's champion in the Mid-South Madness League, he is up there in 5th. Dean Brummett, last season's runner-up, in 6th.
Those guys always around each other. And it's going to be interesting to see how they work this now after being probably towards the middle of the pack to up front. It's a whole different kind of racing, and we'll see how they decide they want to attack this situation.
Well, I mean, Dean Brummett is probably having nightmares of that race. That was at Auto Club. He was leading the race basically right towards the end of the race. Actually, I'm sorry, Bobby Brill was leading the race. Dean Brummett was in second. Bobby looked like he was going into pit road, and because of the way pit road is set up here, Bobby was able to, to kind of abort that. And when he aborted that, he actually hit Dean Brummett, causing Dean Brummett some damage there. Perfectly legal, but it just kind of caused Dean Brummett a lot of damage, and Bobby Brill ended up winning the championship over Dean Brummett more than anything because of that.
That's tough. And those things stick in the back of your mind. Those things motivate you. And so I think he's going to come into the season with the motivation of, hey, that was my championship. I'm here to prove that it was mine, and I'm going to get another one this year.
Yeah, he definitely has a good shot at it. I mean, really, all these guys are just incredible drivers. I would not put it past any of them to win this race or this championship.
Oh, yeah, they came to me and said, hey, do you want to be in Cup? And I looked at the roster and said, guys, I'm 6 months into iRacing. Let me get my feet wet somewhere else first.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. You know what? Come broadcast with me. So
here I am.
That's the way it works. We got the 1 to green, and so we've still got a little ways to go. So let's kind of regroup here. So Timothy Latham up in first, Jake Rowell second. Then you got Brandon Key in third, Scott Healy in fourth, Bobby Brill fifth, Dean Brummett sixth, then Jordan Saylor seventh, and Brad Herman eighth. So that's your top 8. 3 of those guys are from Rowell Smith Racing.
Yeah, those guys are consistent again, and I know they're having a good night, and they're going to be enjoying this one. Working together, get up to the front of the field, and see if they can control this race.
Yeah, if that team gels together, then it's going to be really, really tough to beat them. So there are 3 or 4 teams here that just have absolutely stacked teams. It's going to cause some really good racing this season.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait. Just seeing the roster that we have and knowing the guys that I've raced with in this group of guys, I don't even want to know who the best is out of them. We're going to figure that out in the season.
Well, it looks like we've got 17 guys still out on the track. I think Thomas Rutherford, David Leakey are going to try to get out on the track before they come around for the green so they can stay on that lead lap. So I believe we're going to have 19 drivers on the lead lap as the pace car dives off. And Timothy Latham is going to get the green once again.
Great jump there by Latham. He gets a little bit of jump. He jives down to the bottom inside.
And here we go. Yeah, he gets it. Man, he gets an incredible jump there. Brandon Key trying desperately to catch up. And then Jake Rowell getting a nice little push here. I believe that's from Scott Healy.
Yeah, they got to get back to this first turn again where we had the incident. And everybody seems to get through clean. So here we go.
And I'm just double checking here, but yeah, Thomas Rutherford, David Leakey, they're both going to be about half a lap down. Looks like David Leakey's going to go back into the pits once again. So Thomas Rutherford about half a lap down. He's going to be way back from this draft. And so it's going to be tough for him to catch up unless there's another quick caution.
Rowell gets tight there out of 3 and 4. He's going to give up the position. This inside lane is coming for him. They're going to train him here.
Oh, definitely. He falls all the way back to 4th place pretty quickly, about to lose 4th place to Bobby Brill as well.
I think that goes back to you saying, he pushes his tires as hard as he can, and I think he just puts them a little bit over the limit and almost got in the wall there in 3 and 4, cost him a couple spots.
Dean Brummett moves up into 3rd place, passing his teammate. Now, Dean, he started off in the 29th position, so right now he is in the lead of the Hard Charger Award. He's been improving 26 positions. Oh, we got Brandon Key up into the wall a little bit.
Brandon Key getting over aggressive there. He wants that lead, and he's trying to chase down Latham. but you can't put your car on the line there.
Just diving right back out into the chat. So David Swift saying, told you some people are still thinking about last night. Last night we had a demolition derby, and it was just the most fun thing in the world. All the damage was turned off, and so people were just wrecking each other constantly. And so David Swift is saying that, hey, this is a carryover from last night, and in some aspects it could be.
It definitely looked like it in that parking lot we had there on the backstretch. But that was an absolute blast to watch. Really disappointed that I did not get into that, but next time I will definitely be there to wreck anybody that wants it.
Well, for those of you that don't know what Speed Racing Network is and how we operate here, we like to have fun. And yes, it's serious racing. We've got some money on the line, absolutely. So it's definitely tough racing. But at the same time, we're all good friends. We want to have a good time. We want to goof off, have a good time. But a lot of times we'll get together with all these guys and we'll go raid a hosted race or something like that, where we'll show up to a race and 15 of us will be Team SRN, and then everybody else doesn't even know what hits them when we get out there and we win the race.
You guys just come in and just dominate a race, and that's that's just hilarious to me. You guys don't even know what they're getting themselves into whenever they see those guys show up.
Oh yeah, they have no clue, and then all of a sudden everybody's railroading them, and it just turns out that we're all on the same team. Timothy Latham making it look easy out here, so 0.6 of a second right now. Dean Brummett and Brandon Key trying desperately to catch up to him, but I think our suggestion is just relax. Got plenty of time. Still got 80 laps to go in this thing.
Oh, yeah. It's going to come down to pit strategy if you stay green here. And, again, being that lead car, you kind of control the race. But the one thing you have to worry about being that lead car is one of these 2 to 3 guys behind you that are in close proximity of you, pitting before you. So when we get to that window, it's going to be interesting to see who dives on pit road first.
Well, all these top 12 cars all pitted on lap 10. And so, of course, we've had a caution since then. So these cars only have about 10 to 12 laps on those tires. So we've still got another 20 laps to go or so before we have to worry about that. But everybody's starting to kind of filter out a little bit.
Yeah, the crowd's starting to spread out the field. We got Roel moving into 4th there.
It's actually, yeah, Burrell passing Roel there. So sorry about that. Yeah, Burrell passing Roel for 4th position. And Roel not letting him go too easily.
There's that aggressive driving again. And you got to wonder if he's going to burn off his tires and just start dropping. He's losing his lead pack as far as, he was out front earlier, clean air. And that dirty air, that car is just not liking it right now.
Yeah, those two got into an incident last season at Phoenix, and so we were kind of worried that we'd see more of that, but they've since put those differences behind them, and they've actually become pretty good friends.
Oh yeah, you see Adam Pettit back there. I want go to his car to see how much damage he incurred in that wreck, and just kind of wonder if he's saving now or if he's hurt.
I see a little bit of damage there. You definitely have something.
Oh yeah, Adam always has something up his sleeve, so I'm sure he has some cheat code he wants to put in here with the damaged car that's going to get him back to the front.
So yeah, definitely Adam. I think he's just kind of biding his time. I don't think he wants to get involved with anything else just yet. So he's all the way back there in 15th. Right in front of him is his teammate Alan Dobbs, who is also a little bit involved in one of those wrecks as well.
Oh yeah, you see them both probably laboring here with the cars. Dean Brummett goes by Brandon Key for 2nd place, and he looks like he's on a mission to go get that front position.
Oh yeah, he definitely knows who Timothy Latham is. In fact, Dean Brummett had COVID a couple of months ago, and while he had COVID, Timothy Latham actually subbed for him in a different series. So both of them kind of helping each other out there. Timothy had a really, really good race running there, but again, good friends until you get on the track.
Yeah, I think the gloves are going to come off if it comes down to these two trying to win this race. Definitely with Brummett being the hard charger right now.
Oh yeah, he's up 27 positions up into 2nd place. I mean, the next closest guy for hard charger is Alan Dobbs, up 14 positions.
And that's another thing too, is you see the talent. Dean Brummett is a runner-up in the series last year, and he qualified back in 27. Now, to say if that was on purpose or not, we don't know, but that's where he started, and that's where he's at now, is at the 2nd, and he's running a great race.
out there in the chat, David Duke says Adam Pettit's car is used up, and he may be right. He may be accurate in that. Adam Pettit still 7 seconds behind the leaders, and so he's got a ways to go. But if he gets a couple cautions fall his way, he might have a shot at this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If he can get back in and kind of fix that damage a little bit, and he may not be the car to win this, but he could be the one that pushes somebody to the win with this track being so dependent on draft.
Yeah, Jake Rowell continues to fall back, so he is back in 6th position. He's under fire by his own teammate, Scott Healy, moving to the inside to take that 6th position away. And then Tony Baird looks like an independent driver. He is going to go in there and take that position away from Jake Rowell as well.
Again, tires. You got to wonder if he's not using that right front up just a little too much, trying to keep up those leaders earlier. Now it's costing him.
Yeah, Tony Baird, I don't see him on our list for being on anyone's team, so definitely somebody to look at, because right now he's our top independent driver.
Yeah, definitely going to have the people keep his eye on him, those guys that are looking for an extra teammate. He's running the great race right now up to 7th, and we'll see if he can catch these leaders, because he looks like he's on a mission.
So we got something kind of fun out here. We've got Justin Boyles, who was one of the cars that Pettit ran into. He is out in the chat right now saying that his car is definitely used up as well. So Justin, hey man, I know you're watching. If you want to jump into the chat with us here and tell us kind of what you saw and kind of some of the guys that you're driving around up here, be our guest. So let me know and I'll get you into the chat and we'll chat a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's definitely unfortunate, but again, recruitment race. The guys that are in the league already, it's lighthearted, it's fun. But I know come season time that will not be as joyous to be trash. I know. I've been there before. I know how it is.
Well, it looks like Dean Brummett is starting to kind of catch up just a little bit. Let's find out here. So yeah, definitely Dean Brummett catching up about 1/10 of a second per lap. And so this might get a little bit interesting here in about the next 7 or 8 laps.
Again, it's all about those tires, and you got to wonder if Latham was out there burning them up, trying to get this lead. And we're going to see if Brummett can reel him in here.
And here they come across the start-finish line, and those times will change. So let's find out. Yep, looks like almost another 0.2 of a second. So Dean Brummett definitely on the move.
He's got to reel him in here, and he's got to be patient. When you get to him, you got to set him up for the pass so that you don't waste all this work that you've gotten to. So it'll be interesting to see when he gets to him if he's going to be patient and kind of work his way around him, or if he's going to push it and see what happens.
Trying to see who else we haven't really talked to. Brad Herman. Let's go back to him. So Bronco Motorsports, and like we said before, if this guy isn't eating or sleeping, he is on iRacing, and you can see how that's working out for him. He's up in 5th position.
Yeah, I'm trying to run down Brandon Keith here, who also kind of pushed it a little bit there to start. So we're starting to see those cars that kind of taking their pace move up towards the front of the field, and he's got to be one of them.
And then right behind him, Tony Baird, like I said, he's an independent. And then we've got 3 other independents in the top 10. So Cedric Ingram taking the 7th position away from Scott Healy right there. And then right behind Scott Healy, Jamie Plurd in 9th position. And then Brian Sinisak in 10th. And so a lot of good drivers in here. They are definitely all phenomenal drivers on iRacing based on their ratings.
Yeah, and there's no easy weeks. There's no off weeks in this league. And these guys are trying to get in here, and they're actually running with some of the best that we got. So it'll be interesting to see if they can work their way up to the front and how they react to those guys, being around those guys, and if they can really prove themselves.
Bobby Brill is up in 3rd place. He's Shake, and here's Bake, Brian O'Shell in 12th position, the number 54 car. And so he's got a little bit of work to do, but hey, he's up 12 positions from where he started.
Yeah, just slowly, methodically working his way up, knowing we got plenty of laps left to go here, nothing to push here, but he's in this group of packs, so it's going to be interesting to see if these guys can keep it clean, or if they one of them wants to push it and gets a little shaky.
Well, let's jump back up front as here we go. So we've got Timothy Latham and then Dean Brummett within 0.3 of a second, and so it has definitely closed the gap, and this could get really interesting because now they're on 22 lap old tires. Now you got to start thinking, when are we going to pit?
Yeah, and Dean Brumman's putting the pressure on Lathan here with the lap car. The lap car's gonna get out of the way, hopefully here, and maybe Brumman could use him as a pick. We'll see what he does as Latham dives underneath him.
Well, while that's going on out there in the chat, Justin Boyles declined our invitation to come into the broadcast booth. He said pretty much what happened was Adam got a little loosey-goosey and Justin got a little wally-wally.
Yeah, he definitely got a little loosey-goosey. An uncharacteristic mistake from Adam Pettit there. Cost several drivers tonight, but, again, all in fun if you're just in the league, and we appreciate the comments down there, man. That was funny.
That's a lot of fun. So fuel run is about 32 laps, so we've got about 10 more laps to go until we get to the pit area. But right now, the way everybody's spreading out, nobody's really within 0.2 of a second of each other. Closest race right now on the track is Jake Rowell back here, but he's struggling. He's fallen all the way back to 14th.
Those tires, I look for him to pit here pretty quickly. As far as the fuel window, he's not in the fuel window yet, but those tires are going to be screaming a lot louder than that fuel will. So it'll be interesting to see if he dives down here early and tries to get the advantage of having fresher tires than these guys and try to catch back up to the front.
Yeah, with the 32-lap fuel run, I mean, if you look at about, the next 2 or 3 laps, you can go, pit stop and then pit again around lap 67, 68, and then you'll be able to make it to the finish if we stay green. And it's going to be interesting to see how many people decide to take that strategy.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys. I calculate all my fuel as soon as I get in the pit. Okay, how far can I go? And I try to short pit and make the pressure on the guys in front of me. And so, again, it'd be interesting to see if Brumman catches him here and then dives off in the pits because, again, that puts pressure on Latham to make that decision of when he wants to come.
Oh, definitely. If Latham goes into the pits right now, everybody else is going into the pits really quickly after that. They don't want to let him get any further away, but we're going to keep an eye out and see who's going to be the first one to go into the pits because right now the top 14, nobody's even touched it.
And as you can tell with these cars, he gets to the back of them and yet can't pull all the way up to them. So it'll be interesting to see how much he pushes on these old tires and if he is able to keep it without making mistakes. Alan Dobbs moving to the front.
Yeah, he's right up there with Bryce Sensack, and Bryce looks like he's got a lot of damage on the front, so his arrow's all messed up.
The fact that he's even able to hold him off is quite impressive with that smashed in front end like that. So Alan Dobbs, again, methodically moving himself to the blue field. He's consistent. It's just avoiding those mistakes of other drivers that I've seen out of him that keeps him from actually winning that race.
Oh, yeah, and definitely Alan, great driver. I've seen him in a few races already this offseason and just had some bad luck recently. And so I think once all these cars get spread out like that, that's when the true drivers come out to shine.
Oh, yeah, as you've seen Dean Brumman closing it down to 1/10 of a second, almost to the bumper here on the bottom line. Let's see if he's able to make a move coming out of this corner.
And you're not missing anything else out there on the track. This is the closest race out there. And so looks like Dean, I mean, I'm not sure if Dean's going to push the issue too much here. He is more of a long-term, a long ball player.
Yeah, that's definitely a smart strategy. Don't push it. Don't ruin your equipment trying to get one spot. You can get him later. You can get him out of the pit road. And he's pushing it here. He's going to have a run here out of turn 2.
Yeah, he's getting right there within 0.2 of a second, but as he gets up to about 1/10 of a second, it just seems like he just can't hold it there. And so once again, right up there, about 1/10 of a second, and then Timothy Latham's going to get a good run on the outside, and I think Dean's going to have to fall back in line again.
Up here we go. He got to run up the outside or on the inside out of turn 4. Here we go, drag racing down the front stretch.
Well, see, I was completely mistaken on that one. So Dean Brumman actually takes the lead on the inside, and Timothy's going to let him go by.
Yeah, I think that might have been a little strategy play here. I think if you look in the next 2-3 laps, I think Latham's looking to come down here, if I'm not mistaken, because he let him go so easily. You got to think that he's doing some kind of strategy here.
Yeah, because if he uses brakes really hard to get into pit road right there, the Dean could have run into the back of him. So this might be where one of them comes in, either this lap or next. It looks like they're both staying out. I thought the Dean might be diving in.
Here comes Latham to the inside at the start-finish line. Not going to get there as Brumman closes the door.
And yeah, Latham and Brumman just going head-to-head. And again, they've had some races in the past Both of them just fabulous drivers. Looks like Brandon Key going to take third position away from Bobby Brill on the inside.
Brandon Key able to save his stuff. He might have a little left in the tires, more than Brill. We'll see what happens. Brill coming through the field pretty quick earlier, so he might have burned those tires off just a little too soon.
Yeah, Brill is actually a fuel-saving king as well. So he runs some good fuel races, and so I would expect to see him coming in here pretty shortly with thinking about a 30 to 32 lap run.
I admire those guys because I am not one that can save anything. So I definitely admire a guy like Brill that's able to save his tires, save fuel, and capitalize on that.
Looks like we got Tony Baird and Cedric Ingram going back and forth here. And so you're on board with Tony Baird right now, but on his inside, Cedric Ingram trying to take that 6th position and keep it.
Great battle here. These guys are just putting it all on the line here. As he dives to the inside, we'll see if he gets any help. They're standing to the outside to help the outside guy.
Yeah, it looks like the number 25. That's going to be a mistake actually. So believe that's going to be. I don't know. Is that Tony Baird in the 25 car? No, I'm sorry. That's Joey Kovis. He's actually a lap down. So that's what we're seeing. I was wondering where that 25 car came from. He is a lap down.
I believe he's already hit pit road. As you can tell, he's able to keep up with these guys. Not necessarily dropping back, but probably out here on the new tires and just kind of riding around and letting these guys race.
Let's go back up front and find out how Dean Brummett's doing. He's opened up a 1-second lead over Timothy Latham, and so he is just starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, getting that clean air on that front of the nose, and he's able to just pull away. Again, I think Latham used up his tires a little too soon trying to get that gap, and then Dean Brummett just able to methodically catch him and pass him, and now he's pulling away.
Well, and that's really the word I could use for Dean Brummett. He actually raced on my team last season, and I would consider him methodical. So Jake was the aggressive driver. Dean was the one that just kind of laid back and let the race come to him, and that's what's going on right now.
Those guys are just so patient, and patience is nowhere in my vocabulary outside of saying it now. I'm not able to just lay back. I want to go get the lead and just hang out up front, but those guys able to save those tires, it actually comes out and pays off in the very end.
So we keyed up here to Adam Pettit just to kind of see what's going on with him. He was side by side with Jake Rowell for a little while. So Jake falling all the way back to 13th position, Adam Pettit all the way back in 14th position. So these are two of the top 3 guys that qualified, and so both of them having their struggles.
Yeah, Adam with the damage that he got in that wreck, and then Rowell just off pace. And here comes Alan Dobbs down in pit road, one of the first ones to pit. We're going to see how this strategy pays off for him.
Yeah, and then Jordan Saylor's right behind. So we're going to see how that goes to be the first ones down. You just never know.
I tell you now, if I'm Dean Brummett with this lead I have now, I'm diving on pit road and taking full advantage of this lead and getting on and off pit road first.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I mean, there's nothing to gain right now by staying out another 2 or 3 laps.
Yep, all drivers going to have to at least take probably one more pit stop.
All of them coming in. So Timothy Latham, Brandon Key, Bobby Brill, Brad Herman. So all 4 of those coming in, leaving Dean Brummett out there all by himself in front. He's got a 7-second lead, but that's not going to do him much good on old tires. So I think he's going to come down this time around.
Yeah, he's definitely coming down now. He's going to see him let the lap card go so he can get down to the bottom. And hopefully it doesn't cost him too much. I know that one lap of coming in before, you can make up plenty of time here. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out here, who cycles out on green flag runs.
Green flag pit stops underway, and here comes Dean Brummett down to get fresh tires and fuel. And so that will allow Cedric Ingram and Tony Baird. Actually, Tony Baird dove in as well. So did Scott Healy. So Cedric Ingram is going to be the leader for the time being. Bryce Sinisak right behind him. Brian O'Shell in. A few others. Adam Pettit came in as well. So most of these drivers coming in right now. But Cedric Ingram is the leader. And right behind him, Bryce Sinisak a couple seconds back.
Cedric Ingram, the independent, playing the long ball game here, hoping to stay out as long as he can and then have the fresher tires at the end. So we'll see how long he stays out. He's got to be close to his pit window here, and we'll see what he does.
Some of these drivers, I think, might possibly be hoping for a caution. I just don't see that happening right now. There's just way too much space between everybody right now.
Yeah, this is not one of those tracks that you stay out and hope for a caution. This is one of those tracks that it's kind of like a Talladega and Daytona. You pit as a group and you hope that you don't get left out by yourself, because then you're just sitting duck.
Jamie Plurd coming down as well. So he was in third position. He's going to go ahead and dive in and take his pit stop. So now the only ones that have not pitted are Cedric Ingram, Bryce Sinisak, and Austin Reedy.
As you see Alan Dobbs go by to get his lap back, he's one of the first ones to pit. So you see just how much fresh tires affect these cars. He's able to come back around and unlap himself. So we'll see if Ingram dives in here. Yes, he is.
He will. And this is such a big track that you have the ability to do that. On shorter tracks, it's a little bit harder to get that lap back, but on this track, it's not that bad. So Bryce Sinisak and Cedric Ingram both coming in. Austin Reedy basically acquires the lead, but again, he's going to have to pit here really shortly.
Yeah, I definitely see him diving in the next couple of laps, and it's going to give the lead back. Let's see who is in front of who as far as Brummett and Latham.
So Latham's out front by 3 seconds, and so he's going to pass Austin Reedy here. So as Latham comes across the start-finish line, he's going to retake the lead. And Dean Brummett 3 seconds behind. So huge gap there, and I'm not really sure what the huge difference was. I wonder if there was maybe trouble in pit lane.
You just see that's just the difference in the lap. You know, he's able to come on the track full speed, where Brummett is still on these 30, 40 lap old tires, and that's the key to it, is who gets on pit road first and who gets off, and who gets on cleaner than the other person.
Yeah, as far as pit lane time, let's pull that up for everybody here, and you can see, actually that's pit stop time. Sorry, let's go pit lane time. And you can see that Latham's pit lane time was a second faster than Dean Brummett, and so that's where one of those seconds came from. But again, just trying to get back up to speed here, and so Latham's got a nice big advantage.
The key here is for Latham with this big lead not to tear up his tires. He has to be patient, and if it means that Brummett catches him a little bit on the run, that's good. But take care of those tires so that you don't have to worry about that again at the end of this run.
Still a long way to go. We still have at least one pit stop to go, and I'm just going back and checking everybody. It looks like everybody has gotten their pit stops taken care of now, so we've got another long run to go. Not a lot of close racing right now. The closest one out here is Alan Dobbs and Tony Baird.
Alan Dobbs, again, one of those first drivers to pit. We'll see if his tires are able to keep up with these guys that just came out a couple laps ago, as you see him getting past now by Baird.
So Baird going down to the inside, he's going to probably get that position on those fresh tires. I mean, all of them are fresh tires, but it's a lot easier to pass on the low side with those freshies.
Oh, yeah, Alan probably just letting him go, buying his time, letting him burn up his tires. And again, consistency. He doesn't burn up his tires. He doesn't push it too hard. He just consistent lap times and runs his own race.
Out there in the chat, Justin Boyles, kind of our in-race commentator, even though he's not in the race anymore, saying that the fall off out there between pit stops is 2.5 seconds, and so he says that the reason that Latham got such a good jump is Dean Brummett just stayed out that one extra lap.
Again, that's what I was saying as far as, you know, Brummett he knew he was fast in the long run. I feel like he should have came down a little bit earlier and put the pressure again on Latham as far as getting on and off pit road cleanly.
But I'll tell you, so Dean's starting to kind of close the gap a little bit. So he's up about 0.2 of a second from where he was. But right now it's just clear blue skies in front of Timothy Latham.
Oh, yeah. Timothy Latham on a Sunday evening drive, just enjoying his time out here at Auto Club and not really looking in the rear mirror, just looking up front and trusting his strategy is going to work out.
The next closest battle that we have, and again, everybody's just kind of starting to get spread out. So Jake Roel back here with Jordan Sailors. And so Jake's going to have to find something here to get that first qualifying lap back, because he just hasn't been himself for a while. I'm not sure if he maybe scraped a wall somewhere or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things mentally you push so hard to get to the lead, and then once he got back in that traffic, his car just did not work the same way as it was in the lead. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can hopefully catch a caution and maybe find a way back up to the front.
So he will pass Jordan Sailors and get back into 12th position. Looking at a few other guys that are out here, let's move up to Brian O'Shell up here in 11th position. So again, Brian O'Shell, as of right now, racing for Team SRN. There have been some rumblings there as to whether or not that's going to stay from his decision making. I'm not really sure what those are about. I hope he does. He is a fantastic racer. We would hate to lose him from this league because I think he could compete.
Oh yeah, he's doing a great race tonight. Just staying patient, running in the 11th position, and hopefully he stays in. You know, he's a great driver, brings great competition, and just another car that you got to worry about every night.
Up a little bit further, Brad Herman up here in 5th position for Bronco Motorsports, and that's pretty much where he's been most of the race. And so he is just making his team proud.
Yeah, very consistent run tonight for Brad Herman. You know, we've seen him dicing up there, trying to get to the front, just methodically again, moving his way through the field, being patient, picking spots off one by one, and now he's out here in 5th. And you got to wonder if he has something in the tank for these two front guys.
Back towards the back here, so 16th, 17th position, that's the race for it. So Thomas Rutherford and Austin Reedy. We haven't talked about TR too much tonight. A good broadcaster. I broadcast with him the first half of last season, as well as a fantastic driver. He was the runner-up in Mid-South Madness Season 1.
Austin Reedy there riding with a bit of damage on the front nose, so we'll see if he's able to keep up with these guys here, even though they're on equal tires. You know, that damage is going to slow you down. It's like a parachute when you go down that backstretch.
Let's head back up front just to find out how we're looking here between Timothy Latham and Dean Brummett. Dean has closed the gap all the way to almost a second.
Yeah, you saw him in the picture there, and so you got to wonder how much Dean Brummett's going to push his car to get Timothy Latham again. Here we go. It's pretty close. You can see him in the picture.
Yeah, he's right at a second right now, and so you'll see there's your battle for first, and you can just see that timer just ticking away.
You got to wonder if Timothy Latham's going to start searching the track, maybe change his line a little bit to see if there's any speed anywhere else on the track. But Dean Brummett's coming, and he's about to get a mirrorful here pretty quick.
Yeah, he gained 0.7 of a second in the past lap. Let's see what it looks like this time around. But I can tell you just by the timing, he's gained probably another 0.4 of a second at minimum.
Oh, yeah. I look for him to close up to his bumper here on the turn 1 and turn 2 and possibly make the turn 3.
Yeah, about half a second difference on that one. So, and that one lap of tires is not the difference here. There's no possible way that one lap of tires gives up a half a second, but I think that Latham might be saving his stuff right now.
It would be a great thing if he was saving it for him and just, you know, kind of riding his own pace, letting him go. That way he can control the race from behind him and possibly pit earlier again and try to get that gap again.
So now you got the view from Dean Brummett's car. As you can see, that car in front of him getting closer and closer and closer. He has got the draft now. Just a matter of time before he's on his back bumper.
Yeah, he's going to pull up to him here and probably set the pass up in turn 1 and 2 and hoping to make a pass down the backstretch.
And you can hear Dean get off the gas and just kind of riding through those corners. But I think Latham's doing the same thing. I think he's just riding a little bit further.
Yeah, both looking to take care of the tires here because we do have about 43 laps left in this race. And it's going to be interesting. These last 43 laps are going to come down to pit strategy and who makes the right decision and who can get on and off clean. And it's going to be a great race.
So Dean Brummett takes the lead going right around Timothy Latham there. Back a little bit further, Scott Healy trying to work on Alan Dobbs going to the inside. And that is for 7th position.
Great battle here between two great drivers. You know, Healy's run consistent all night. He's moving up and not too far behind the car in front of him. So it looks like they're pulling in these guys.
And so Dean Brummett right now has the hard charger award, but Alan Dobbs is up 21 positions as well. So definitely another hard charger.
Alan Dobbs trying to make his way through the field. I also want to give a shout out to Healy there with the Five Guys, man. I love Five Guys. Great place to eat. There's a small plug there for Five Guys.
Hey, let's get the Krispy Kreme car out there as well, and we'll be good.
They need the light on the hood for them.
That's right. So Dean Brummett pulling away just a little bit, so 0.3 of a second lead there. We're looking to see if there's any closer racing out there on the track, and right now there is not. This is the closest race out there.
Latham just trying to keep an earshot to Brummett. Don't want to let him get away too far like he did earlier with the 1 second lead that he allowed. So we'll see if Latham's able to, he might have been saving his stuff. He can push it here and try to keep this battle close and not let Brummett get away from him.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Latham's just kind of riding along, but at some point you're going to have to start gunning a little bit, because if the strategy for Dean is correct, where this thing's going to go green, all he has to do is get into the pits, around lap 70-ish, and he's going to be good the rest of the way. If he gains a 3 or 4 second lead here, that's going to be tough for anybody to catch up to.
Yeah, Dean Brummett running a flawless race right now. I kind of question his strategy as far as staying out and being the last car to pit out of these two cars, but it's obviously paying off.
So he last pitted on lap 45. We're on lap 61 now, so we're about halfway through this fuel run. And so if there's not a yellow, and right now there's nobody within earshot of each other. I mean, everybody is kind of way spread out on this 2-mile track. And so all he can hope for is that this thing keeps going green and he keeps gaining time.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference there is that he caught him halfway through this fuel run. As far as last time, he caught him towards the end of it. So the gap is going to be bigger now, you would think, if it plays the same way it did earlier. And so it kind of puts the pressure on Latham as to what he wants to do.
And just so everybody can kind of see what we're talking about as far as the distance. Actually, you know what? We got a little bit of a race back here. We got Adam Pettit right there on the bumper of Jordan Sailors. So Pettit in 14th, Sailors in 13th. But it looks like Sailor's going to start to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, Adam's car is still damaged. Sailor's just making the pass and making it easy. Adam not going to give up, though, as he gets the draft here. It looks like he's going to go to the inside.
So he's going to dive down towards the inside in the corner. Not sure if he's going to make that stick or not.
We'll see. They're kind of on older tires. Like we said, we're halfway through the fuel run, so he's going to make the pass.
All right, so Adam Pettit up into 13th position. And then right behind them, that's Jordan Sailors that he just passed. Actually, Jordan trying to get that position back on the outside.
Not giving up, but you got to remember it's going to burn those tires up. As you see, he makes the pass there, and he gets passed also by the lap car with damage. So you want to get down to that bottom lane, and if you got to give it up, it's about getting back down to that bottom lane as quick as possible.
So just so everybody can see kind of how far apart everybody is, you can see on our track map here, not a lot of cars too bunched together here. So there's a couple of them that are bunched together, but those are lap cars more than anything else. And so let's move up to one of those bunches. So Scott Healy in the 64, and he's been racing up here with Alan Dobbs the entire time, and Cedric Ingram right behind.
Yeah, Healy, we saw that pass earlier by Alan Dobbs, but he's staying within a car length or two. So he's not fully pulling away from him, and hopefully getting some help here from Ingram, pushing him up to the front.
Let's drive back up front to Dean Brummett, who has now opened up his lead to 2 seconds.
Dean Brummett just driving away casually, probably eating popcorn in the cockpit. He is not having any sweat right now. He's just casually driving his own line, driving his own race, and pulling away with the lead.
I think Bryce Sinisak had a little bit of issues here, and so he is off pace. And so he falls all the way back to 11th position, trying to get back up to pace as Jake Roel comes around.
Unfortunately, looks like he got a little bit more damage than what he already had. And luckily, he just he kept it green. He didn't get involved with anybody, kept it going. And that's a sign of a good driver as well. Able to, make a mistake, but also recover from it and not cost other drivers.
So back up to Dean. So again, 2.2 seconds is the lead now. Timothy Latham trying desperately to... Actually, you know what? I don't think Timothy Latham's trying to catch him right now. If Timothy Latham was trying to catch him, then I think it would be closer than what it is.
I just think that Latham used his tires up when he first got them, and you got to take care of the tires. And you see the result of it now is the difference of Brummett, who is an easier driver to drive, as you see Jordan Sailors driving on pit road.
So Jordan Sailors, I think, kind of taking a risk here. 33 laps to go in this race, and he's going to come down for his probably final pit stop if this thing stays green.
Again, this is the strategy I love to play. You're back in the pack, 10th, 11th, 12th. Pit, what do you have to lose? And if you get the fresh tires, you're going to put pressure on the guys in front of you. Not necessarily affect Dean Brummett, but the guys that were in 9th, 8th, 7th, they're now pressured to get more tires. So we'll see if that affects and brings anybody else down pit road.
Now, I believe Jordan Sailors was about 11th to 12th place when he decided to pit. So wasn't really putting too much pressure on the leaders overall. However, if that starts a chain effect, and here we go. So Timothy Latham diving down into the pits. And so he is going to take the first pit stop for the leaders. This might get interesting now.
Again, the short pit strategy. He knows he can make it the rest of the way on fuel. Dive down pit road. You're down 2 seconds. Close that gap on pit road and put the pressure on Brummett. So it's going to be interesting to see what Brummett does now. If he determines that he needs to pit early or if he wants to stay on his own strategy. It seemed to work last time.
Well, I can't imagine with a 2.5 second fall off, just like Justin Boyles was saying out there in the chat, with that big of a fall off, I can't imagine that Dean's going to stay out there for more than a couple more laps.
Yeah, he's trying to push it to his own window. Like I said, like you said earlier, he runs his own race. So I don't think that Latham's going to necessarily affect him, but you got to think that it's going to put something in the back of his mind like, hey, he's gone. Now I got to go. So we'll be interested to see if he comes down pit road here in the next couple laps.
So we will keep an eye on Timothy Latham because he is not too terribly far back from Dean Brummett to try to get that lap back.
The key here is also going to be, like you said, that just like you just said, if he is able to pass Dean Brummett before he pits, that changes the whole complexion of this race.
So he just passed Brandon Key, who is our second place driver right now, and now Dean Brummett coming into the pits.
Exactly, drug him down. He knew the pressure was on him. He gets in pit. Oh, little drag of the tires there, but we'll see if he's able to get on and off faster than he did last time.
So as he comes down, Brandon Key will now take the lead. Bobby Brill in second position right behind.
Brandon Key, solid driver. Brill as well. Been running the top 5, both of them all night. So we'll see if this drags them down because, they were a little bit further back than Latham. So you got to think the pressure's on them now to come down pit road.
And so now Dean Brummett coming out of the pits. Timothy Latham still behind him on the track currently, but that's about to change.
The real question is, the last gap was 3 seconds, I believe, 2.5, 3 seconds. So will it be a bigger gap this time, and will force Dean Brummett to push it a little bit harder to try to get that lead back?
So here's Dean Brummett, the blue car coming into your screen. That is Timothy Latham. And so we will see as Timothy Latham will pass him on the outside, it looks like. Oh, well, maybe. Yeah, it looks like he will. So Timothy Latham will take the lead back if we stay green and everybody pits.
Interesting. He came down a lap later, but you see the gap. It's way different than it was last time.
And here are your leaders currently. So Brandon Key and Bobby Brill. And so how much longer until they come in, because they're under the same strategy. I mean, everybody's under the same strategy right now, it looks like.
To me, Brandon Key is playing with house money. He stays out as long as he can, hoping for a caution. It may never come. But you're running the third, 4, 5, 6 seconds back. What do you have to lose? Stay out as long as you can. See if you can get that yellow. And that changes the whole complexion of the race.
So we will keep an eye on that. But again, battle between Dean Brummett and Timothy Latham is heating up. It's 0.4 of a second, and that's all that separates first and second place. If it stays that way, Dean Brummett might have a shot at this thing.
Yeah, I think Brummett just got to continue to run his race. Know that he has a lot fresher tires. Not much difference. But the last 2 runs have gone his way. So whatever you did the last 2 runs, you got to continue that and not lose your focus here on that.
Back up front, just a matter of when are these guys going to come in, because now we're on lap 73. I think you're right. I think they're just hoping for a caution. But again, just as it's been all race long, a lot of people spreading out there.
Yeah, everybody's spread out, so different pit strategies are going to play out here. It's just a matter of when do you want to come? When do you decide that, hey, this is not going to work, I got to come down pit road? And you got to wonder, because these guys up front of them are going to be pulling away fairly quick.
I think we got a little bit of a race back here. This is Dean Brummett and Timothy Latham. Once again, Dean on the outside, Brummett on the inside. Dean's going to try to get a run.
Watch for the crossover. Watch for the crossover. He's setting it up. Here he comes, inside. Oh, he closes the door. As you see, Latham not going to let it as easy as it was the first 2 times.
Huge move there by Latham. And so Dean's going to tuck right back in, and he'll take another shot at it here shortly, as Dean does have the draft. It's
The
just
thing,
a
if you're Dean Brummett here, you got to wonder if you're going to burn up your tires too much trying to get by him. And Latham's not going to make it easy. He's going to make him pass on the outside, and we're going to see if this works as they're drag racing down the front stretch as the assumed lead once these drivers pit cycle go through.
And I mean, if only the race would end something like this.
Yeah, I got a feeling that once Brummett gets this lead, if he's able to complete this pass, which he is, he's only going to pull away, and we'll see if Latham keep it close this time.
Well, back up front, Brandon Key and Bobby Brill still have not pitted. Neither has anybody else in the top 10 besides Dean Brummett, who is currently running 10th. And so it's just a matter of time. And so with 26 laps to go, how long can you possibly wait?
I think you run it dry. You know, you got to hope for something crazy. We haven't had many cautions tonight, and you got to hope for a miracle. And if it plays out, you're a hero. If it not, then you know next time that you got to come down.
And so it looks like once again they're just going to stay out. And so now 25 laps to go. Brandon Key, Bobby Brill, about a second separates those two, and then it's 9 more seconds all the way back to Brad Herman in third.
Yeah, this field, that's just an example of how spread out this field is. Even guys that haven't pitted yet, still 9 seconds ahead of the guys behind them. So, and also going to be interesting to see those guys that have already pitted, that will they move ahead of these guys that are staying out.
So Cedric Ingram still fighting up here with Baird, with Tony Baird. And so still a little bit of a battle going on there. Now Brandon Key and Bobby Brill both coming down into pit lane.
Here we go. It's going to be a great race off for these two here. They've been battling all night next to each other. So going to be interesting to see who comes in, who comes out as far as the gap between these two.
Alan Dobbs also coming into pit as well. So Brad Herman will assume the lead for Bronco Motorsports.
Brad Herman stretching it out. Again, just methodical as far as, you know, able to still be out there on these old tires and not worry about, you know, blowing a tire, because this track will eat these tires up. And this is a long run. I expect him to pit down right here.
So it looks like Brad's going to come around. He is hugging that inside. Does that mean that he's coming in? No, not this time around.
Staying out, still hoping for a caution, but you got to think in the back of your head, you know how spread out these guys are. Cedric Ingram dives down the pit road out of third place.
And then Brian O'Shell also diving into the pits, likely for the last time in this race. So Brad Herman and Tony Baird, the only two that have not pitted that are in the top 5 right now.
Brad Herman staying out, stretching it out. We'll see if this strategy is going to play out, because these guys are kind of close together here. And, you know, racing might get a little dicey towards the end.
So no good races for position out there right now. This is one of the two closest ones. Looks like a couple of guys. Here we go. Brad Herman coming into the pits. It looks like Tony Baird coming in as well. So that is going to allow Dean Brummett, as he comes around, to retake the lead. And he already has a 2-second gap on Timothy Latham.
Yeah, Dean Brummett's in a class of his own tonight. No disrespect to Latham, because he's a great driver as well, but Brummett seems to love Auto Club, as you can tell.
Well, I know in a chat room that I'm a part of with Dean Brummett, he actually came across the chat and he said, "Hey guys, guess what happened this week? I actually practiced."
Well, those practice laps are definitely paying off here, because Auto Club's not an easy racetrack. So the practice was definitely necessary, and it's showing tonight.
Practice makes perfect in iRacing, and I mean, he is side by side right now with number 54. That's Brian O'Shell.
Yeah, I think the only worry that Dean Brummett has tonight is what he's going to have for a midnight snack, because no one's catching him right now. Unless there's a caution coming out, he is in a league of his own, and he is going to drive away with this one.
Now, O'Shell's able to drive away just a little bit because he has fresher tires, but really no threat right now. It would take a lot for O'Shell to catch back up to Dean Brummett once again.
Yeah, I'm not too sure that Dean Brummett's not content with just staying behind him. You know, saving his tires, dropped him, and just in case he needs them at the end of the race.
Jake Roel coming down into pit lane as well. So he was up in fifth. You
saw on the shot there that his right front fender was a little flared out, so that looks like he did a little wall contact earlier, which is probably what caused the drop that he had today.
More than likely. I can't imagine he dropped back. I mean, because of driving skill. He is amazing. He's an amazing driver. So I don't see that happening. There had to have been damage.
As you see Dean Brummett working his way around lap traffic, just slowly working around. As he comes to the inside, not necessarily giving him the spot as easy.
Yeah, again, O'Shell, I mean, on fresher tires, he is not going to make this easy on Dean Brummett at all. Again, his teammate Bobby Brill up in 4th position. So if O'Shell can hold up Brummett at all here, it would certainly help his teammate. Of course, Bobby's 17 seconds behind right now.
Yeah, you also got to think if you're Timothy Latham that you got to be loving this right now. Hoping that you can get up there and hopefully catch this guy. Because right now, Dean Brummett is not being caught. And this is going to help him right here.
Yeah, and Dean really needs to get around O'Shell here because if not, then Timothy's just getting bigger and bigger in his mirror.
Yeah, and again, that puts pressure on Dean Brummett. Again, hoping that he doesn't burn up his tires. But you see there, O'Shell able to pull away from him. So not making it easy. And so it's going to make it a little bit interesting if you can't get around him.
And so as we're looking, let's see if that has helped. Nope, Brummett's still been pulling away. I'm not sure if that's going to remain the same if Brummett stays behind O'Shell. So let's see what it looks like coming across the start-finish line.
Yeah, you see O'Shell kind of pulling away from Brummett there. So Brummett able to kind of run his own race here, and we'll see if the times have changed.
So that helped Timothy just a little bit, but he's going to have a whole lot more help than that in order to catch up to Dean.
Don't look now. I don't know if that's the 3rd place car, but behind him, car catching him as well. So he's not only driving forward. Oh, nope. Brandon Key's back here. So that must be a lap car just putting a little bit of pressure on Latham there.
Yeah, basically it's a 2-car race right now. So Dean Brummett has about almost a 3-second lead, and then it's 8 more seconds all the way back to Brandon Key. So this is just 2 cars pulling away, and on green flag this entire time, that's tough to do.
Yeah, I got to believe that Dean Brummett just backed off of O'Shell and said, hey, I'm in the lead. Take it. You can have it. It's not worth it. So you see the gap there between O'Shell and Brummett. And Brummett just kind of running his own race, knowing what he has more to lose than O'Shell does.
So we have been green ever since lap 13, actually about lap 16. So we've been green ever since then. And so stellar race for all these guys out here, especially not racing against each other all that often. For them to put on a show like this with this many green flag stops is unreal.
Oh, yeah. You love it when you're in the position of Dean Brummett, but when you're one of those guys that got caught up in that 1st or 2nd wreck, then you're wishing for cautions all night. And unfortunate for some guys, but Dean Brummett has run a perfect race in my eyes.
Oh, yeah, and you can hear how far off the gas he gets into those corners. It's almost like he's cutting off the car in those corners. I don't believe he's doing that, but he is lifting so hard in those corners to try to save those tires.
Oh, yeah, he's on lift here and let the lap car go by him as well. And just continue to keep his pace, run his own race, knowing that lead's just getting bigger the longer it goes.
Yeah, that lap car is Tony Baird, and so he will pass Dean Brummett, get back on the lead lap. If there is a caution, he'll be able to come back around. And again, if there is a caution, then Jake Roel currently is the lucky dog.
Yeah, Dean Brummett just looking solid right now with the pack spread out so much as it is. I doubt there's a caution here. Just take care of your car the last 15 laps, run your race, and run your line, and it's yours.
Out there in the chat, David Duke saying, night, night, boys. It's checkout time for the COVID Crusader. And the COVID Crusader is Dean Brummett. He had COVID. I'll tell you a story about Dean Brummett. While he had COVID, his brother brought a computer up to the hospital, and Dean raced on the computer in the hospital on hospital Wi-Fi and still qualified for the next round of the playoffs by doing that.
That again, it goes back to the commitment of iRacing, and right there, it just shows how much this league matters to these guys. I mean, if I'm in my hospital bed, just give me some shoes and some crackers. I don't want anything else.
and definitely, he struggled during that race, but he did just enough to make it into the next round, and he ended up making it all the way to the finals of the playoff and took 2nd position.
Again, it's just that kind of commitment that it takes, and that shows the commitment of the league. You know, coming into this league for the first time this year, I want guys like that in my league. And as far as excessive it might be to some people, it shows that he cares, and that's pretty awesome.
So the race is really Dean Brummett and Timothy Latham, and we're talking 2.5 seconds. So really, this is Dean Brummett's to lose.
Oh yeah, just don't make mistakes. Take care of your equipment, and you're going to be in victory lane.
Next closest race out there, Scott Healy and Tony Baird back here a little ways, but they're still half a second apart. So really, towards the end of this race, with all these green flags, everybody's gotten so spread out that not going to say it's not fun to watch, because it is fun to watch, but not a ton of action out there on the track.
Yeah, that's what Auto Club plays to, is the spreading of the field. If you're able to get out front and keep that, then you're able to pull away, as long as you have the clean air. And you know, these guys ran a great race tonight. They kept it green, and that's all you can ask for as far as outside of 2 cautions. That's not bad.
You know, let's ride on with Dean Brummett one more time, and you're going to see how much he's clutching this car down into the corners, trying to save just enough fuel to be sure he's going to make it all the way. Look at that. He is all the way down.
He's completely off of it. Oh yeah, he's comfortable. He's in a rhythm, man. You know, with it being the green this time, you do the same thing every lap, and he's hitting his mark, because this lead is just nothing but grown all night.
So Dean last pitted on lap 69, which would be a 31-lap fuel run, which again is not outside the realm of possibility at all. In fact, it's pretty common at this point.
Yeah, you got to wonder if some of these guys that pitted earlier, if they're going to have enough fuel to make it to the end. That's the bigger question, because, you know, Dean Brummett stayed out later than Latham, and he wasn't the last car to pit, but, you know, Brandon Key's for sure going to make it, because he stayed out as long as he did. So you got to wonder in the back of their heads, they're trying to save fuel here.
Well, and I think Timothy Latham's the one that's in more trouble than Dean Brummett, because, again, 2 laps quicker. He pitted 2 laps sooner. And so if anybody should be saving fuel, it's Latham.
Yeah, and that does not play to his hand right now with this lead that Dean Brummett has been able to get out to. So if you're Dean Brummett, you're saving your stuff, knowing that if you're not good, then the guy behind you is not good. So you kind of just got to run your own race here.
Yeah, you see the gap between Dean Brummett, the red car in the front, and Timothy Latham, the blue car just behind. So there is definitely a large gap there. It's 2 seconds now, so they are getting closer together, if only by a little bit. So you can see that Latham is catching up by about 1 to 2/10 of a second each lap.
Yeah, and it goes back to where he was batting that lap cars. If he is able to catch him, you got to wonder if that was what caused Brummett to lose his tires quicker than what he expected.
But that lap, Dean Brummett had gained 0.3 of a second, so I think it's go time for Brummett. I don't think he's waiting any longer.
Nah, he's got his lead, and he knows where his finish line is. So he got 9 laps here to figure it out, and he's just riding along. And the only thing that's going to help him here is the lap cars in front of Latham. So he really has no pressure on him. Just make no mistakes, and you're in.
You can see Jake Rowell on Timothy Latham's tail. Jake's going to go down to the inside, try to put another car between his teammate and Timothy.
And that's another aspect of teammate racing that you don't necessarily look at if you're just a fan. You know, Rowell here putting pressure on Latham is also helping his teammate pull away here. So that's another aspect of team racing that not a lot of people look into. 3 wide.
Who would have thought we would have seen that with 8 laps to go? But Jake gets the pass, and now it's just, I mean, I don't think he's going to hold him up on purpose, but he's not going to make it easy for Latham to pass him at all. And so that's just going to allow Dean Brummett to open up his lead even more.
I think the frustrating there for Latham is you had the lap car in front of you. You pass him, but then also get passed by a lap car at the same time. So, you know, you're kind of spinning your wheels there. But Latham really, he's pushing to get in the wall a little bit. Oh,
is that Brandon Key in the wall?
Yes, Brandon Key, Latham both touched the wall there, pushing it hard. Brandon Key.
Oh, that wasn't Brandon. That was, who was that? That was, I'm not really sure what car that was. Yeah, was that Jordan Sailors? Yep, Jordan Sailors was the one that got to the wall. Saved it, though, so we're still green.
Yeah, Latham scraped the wall just a little bit there, too. It slowed him up, and Brandon Key able to capitalize and pull up to his bumper.
So Dean Brummett with a 4.5-second lead now, so it's pretty much over at the front. But Brandon Key putting a ton of pressure on Timothy Latham now.
Yeah, Brandon, you know, again, stayed out the longest, so he has the freshest tires. So here he comes with these fresh tires on the outside of Latham.
So Latham loves that bottom line coming across the start-finish line. Brandon Key on the outside getting a really nice run, and he is going to take that second position away just for the time being. Let's see if he can clear him here on the back stretch.
Oh, it's so tight.
And it looks like he will.
Get that run off the corner there to clear him. So a great run by Brandon Key there, and to guard the bottom to make sure he doesn't get the crossover.
So Brandon Key takes second position. Dean Brummett still 5 seconds ahead. So not much of a race for first place anymore. In fact, this is the closest race that we have on the track right now between Brandon Key and Timothy Latham.
You know, if Brandon Key would have probably pulled that strategy of staying out as long as possible on that second run, he may be in the conversation of running down the leader here. But with only 5 laps to go, I think he's obviously out of it. But hey, second place, able to run down Latham, that's something to put on your resume there.
Yeah, I mean, think about the guys that Brandon Key has passed to get to where he's at right now. Bobby Brill, Timothy Latham, Brad Herman, Brian O'Shea, Jake Roel, all these guys that he passed to get up here into second position. The only guy he can't catch is Dean Brummett, who was basically the regular season champion last year. So, can't really cry foul on that one.
No, I think if anything, it's validation that you belong. So, great night by Brandon Key. Again, consistency always wins out for me, and he's been consistent tonight, and it shows being second place.
Back here a little bit further, so Bryce Sinisek and Tony Baird, they are still racing for position, so 9th and 10th position back here. So they're still going at it for that top 10 spot, but up front, Dean Brummett is his night.
Dean Brummett with 4 laps to go, coming to 3. He just wants those laps to click away as quick as possible, so he's just running his line and probably going to let these lap cars in front of him just race it out and just cruise away to the champ or to the checkered flag.
Yeah, not a soul in front of him right now. So it would take an act of God right now for him to not win this race. But of course, I've got the broadcaster's curse, so sometimes that happens.
I'm real careful about that broadcast curse, man. I called basketball and football games back in college, so I know all about the broadcaster's curse.
But I think Dean's going to make me a profit here. He's gonna pull away even further. 4.5 seconds is where he's at right now. And again, nobody anywhere around him.
When Brandon Key made the pass, he was 5 seconds back, so he's just going to run out of laps here. And Brummett, perfect strategy all night, perfect race. Couldn't ask for a better race there from him.
Right now we got 10 drivers on the lead lap, and so that's how far spread out we've gotten. We started off with 29 cars and only 10 cars remaining on that lead lap. That just shows the race that he's had, that he's able to run through the field like this. And he got a lap car slow on the inside there in front of him. Looks like he might be coming off the track. Yeah, just complete domination for Dean Brummett. He was up front pretty much the entire race. Now, the interesting thing, though, is that he started in 29th position, worked his way up very, very quickly, and all of a sudden here he is leading and probably winning this race, and he would also win the Hard Charger Award.
Hard Charger Award came into effect last week, and he's taking full advantage of it this week and worked his way out to the front. The wreck helped him, but, I think with or without the wreck, he was going to be up here the way he's running this race tonight.
And so we are checking right now just to be sure that our guys are all in the booth or all in the chat so we can pull them into some interviews. And it looks like all 3 of them are. So we could get some good interviews here with Timothy Latham and Brandon Key. But the day belongs to Dean Brummett as he comes around turns 3 and 4, crosses the finish line to win the Auto Club Recruit 200.
Great race from everybody tonight, and and to come away with this great race that we had and Dean Brummett come on top, it's just a commitment to him on how good of a driver he actually is.
And so Dean will come around the back stretch, and once he gets back up to the start finish line, if I know Dean, he is going to burn it down like none other.
Man, hopefully got the tow truck ready to pull him down to victory lane, because I don't think this engine's going to make it.
Yeah, this car will not survive.
It's a great feeling, burning it down and knowing you dominated the race the way you did tonight. There's no better way to finish tonight than burning it down.
Yeah, and more than likely his teammate Jake Rowell might join him as well. And that you can see Jake there on the outside. This is a classic thing that Rowell Smith Racing does, is the entire team wins when one person does. And here goes Dean Brummett burning those tires down.
I'm surprised he got meat to even do this. I would not be surprised he blew a tire if it was able to. And look at him. That's awesome.
And Scott Healy is going to join them as well. So 3 of the 4 Rowell Smith drivers here in the race tonight, and all 3 of them with pretty decent showings.
What's more impressive is that they're all 3 here still after the night we've had. You know what I'm saying? The big wreck that we had, 3 were able to avoid them, and now they're all burning down in victory lane together.
All having a great time. So Dean Brummett is absolutely going to be ecstatic once we get in there and talk to him. And we'll get that done here in just a second. But let's go through our winners tonight. And so let's start off with Dean Brummett himself from Rowell Smith Racing in first. Brandon Key from Rev Racing in second. Timothy Latham from Filthy 5 Motorsports in third.
Yeah, you got Bobby Brill from Team SRN in fourth. Alan Dodds with a solid showing from Rev Racing. Brad Herman from Bronco Motorsports. Cedric Ingram, independent. Highest independent finisher tonight, by the way. So we might as well give him a shout out. Hopefully he gets brought to the lead with the showing he had tonight. And Brian O'Shell round out the top 8 for Team SRM.
That's right. Tony Baird, another independent, up in 9th. Bryce Sinisek in 10th. And then we get the cars that were a lap down, but still great driving from all of them. Jake Rowell in 11th for Rowell Smith Racing, and Joey Kovas, an independent, up in 12th.
Jordan Saylor's coming in 13th for R&D Motorsports. Jamie Plord, independent driver, and the 33 tonight, finished 14th. Scott Healy in 15th, Rowell Smith Racing. David Leakey for independent, finished 16th. Austin Reedy in 17th, and Bronco Motorsports.
Then Adam Pettit from Rev Racing, 26 laps down, just got involved in that bad wreck in the very beginning of the race, couldn't come back from it. Michael Amenti in 19th, and then Thomas Rutherford from R&D Motorsports rounds out the top 20.
I want to give a special shout out to Bryce Sinisek, finished in 10th with the damage that he had. The front end was smashed, and to get a top 10 out of that, great race tonight for him.
Oh, definitely. Let's see if we can get Timothy Latham up here into the booth with us. Talk to him about his third place finish. Hey, Timothy, this is Sean and Byron up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
Doing pretty good. How about you guys?
Doing good, man. I mean, you had a really good car out there. Just Dean had a little bit better one.
Yeah, he had the strategy tonight. I figured I'd try to undercut him a few times, and it didn't really work out too well. Brandon Key, he stayed out there pretty much the longest, and he came in really late and got tires and still came ahead and passed us there. So I mean, I might have should have waited a few more laps before I came in, but neither here nor there. You know, Dean had a great night. He had a great car. He did pretty good, and congratulations to him on the win.
Yeah, Timothy, I was with you the whole time. I was wondering, I was like, hey, is he going to short pit here? And hopefully the strategy pays off. Came up short in third, ran a great race. How was it battling Dean for that lead on that last pit cycle? Because I saw you holding him off there for a couple laps.
Yeah, it was pretty fun, and I wasn't really driving too hard to keep him behind me. I knew he was going to pass me eventually, and I was catching him there for a little bit towards the end, but I hit the wall. I was focused on Scott Healy spinning down there in the grass, so I wasn't really paying attention. I came up and smacked the wall a little bit and lost a bunch of time, but I still don't think I would have caught him anyway. He was probably going to win the race.
You know, you're what I consider a very analytical driver. I mean, it's almost robotic how you hit your marks and everything. So I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you take the knowledge that you see from these guys that you're racing with, and you apply that to future races. So I guess my question is, what did you learn from tonight's race?
You know, there's a few things about the line at this track that I still don't know. And I was learning a lot from especially when Dean was behind me. I was kind of mirror driving a little bit and seeing what lines he was taking, where he was letting off, and I kind of adapted that to the later run, that last run in the race there, and I think that's how I started to catch him. I was saving tires a little bit that first part, and I was going to try to run hard after he passed me, but again, you know, he had the better strategy and he had the race tonight. So, but yeah, like you said, I do try to take pretty much everything I see into consideration and shift my driving to that.
All right, man. Well, it was a great race. I cannot wait to see what happens in the regular season. I think we still got uh, one more recruit race to go until we start up the regular season at Chicagoland. But good luck in the future, and we will see you next week at Charlotte.
All right, appreciate it. Yeah, got you guys a good night.
All right, you
So
too.
you too.
Thank you.
All right, let's see if we can get your teammate up here. So this is Brandon Key, your teammate from Rev Racing. So Brandon, it's Sean and Byron up here in the booth. How's it going, man?
Hey, fellas, what's going on?
Man, it is good. Your teammate up here was just beaming with pride while you were driving around there, moving into second position. So, kind of tell us what you saw out there that made you move up so much.
Just after that first run, man, I thought we were just gonna have a few cautions back to back, so I ran my tires kind of hard that long run there, the first initial stint, and then we ended up staying green for a long time, so I burned my stuff up, and I think Dean saved a little bit better, and so they kind of forced my hand there at the end, pitting short, so I had to stay out there long and see what I could do with it.
I did like the strategy of you staying out late, knowing that you had pretty much nothing to lose there. You know, you were 6-7 seconds, like you said, you burned your tires up. So why not stay out longer and see what you can do at the end? And it ended up getting you a second place because you were able to run down Timothy Latham.
Yeah, man. I was hoping for a caution. Everybody kept it clean though, so I mean that's good for a recruitment race. That's looks good for our league. But I was definitely wanting a caution just to see what happened and hopefully pin them guys a lap down and get a restart. But it never came.
Is there anybody out there that specifically surprised you? Anybody that you maybe hadn't heard of before, or you have raced with, but all of a sudden is up there with you guys? Anybody that kind of surprised you at all, or anything you learned about any of these drivers?
I don't think Latham was in the league last year, and he seems like a pretty quality driver. He's good at saving his tires and running up front. But other than that, man, I usually race around the same guy, so uh, nobody else really stood out too much.
All right. Hey, and nothing wrong with that. I know you and your team, y'all get together all the time, and you work on these things. You work on this tire strategy and the pit strategy. Is that something that you worked on before this race happened?
No, usually I'm the pit strategy guy on the team. Adam's so focused on focusing on saving tires, and I'm over here calculating when we should pit, if we're trying to undercut or if we're trying to, stay late. But I'm pretty much trying to add that in my head as we're going.
Well, it paid off for you getting the second place tonight, man. Congratulations.
I appreciate it, guys, and thank you for an awesome broadcast as always.
All right, man. Well, we'll let you go and go celebrate, but we'll see you next week at Charlotte.
All right, guys, take it easy.
Yes, sir.
All right, and let's see if we can find. Yep, there he is himself. The COVID Crusader is up here in our booth with us. So hey, Dean Brummett, Sean Griffith, and Byron McDonald up here in the booth. What's going on, brother?
Not much, buddy. A lot happier in this booth than last time I was at Auto Club. I knew that much.
Yeah, we talked about that on the broadcast. How this thing might be giving you some bad nightmares, but looks like you've come back and taken care of all that stuff.
And it was a dash home. I went bowling with some friends, and unfortunately, I didn't even get to run a lap of practice. I didn't even get to qualify the car, and just kind of flew in there based off of past knowledge of the track. I gave it a full blown 2020 NASCAR style, no practice, no qualifying, and just kind of got down in there. And man, off the start, just about the first 10 laps or so, I was trying to take it as easy as I could. Was still passing cars, and first caution came out. I think we had one or two cautions, and I practiced saving tires a ton since last time we raced the Xfinity season, and I feel like it truly paid off tonight more than any race I've ever run.
I will definitely agree with that, man. You ran a flawless race tonight. You were able to avoid the wreck, and just talk about the battle that you had with Timothy Latham there to get the lead in all those stages. You know, the pit strategy. He came out ahead of you 3 seconds. Were you pushing it a little bit harder knowing that he came out ahead of you so far, or were you just saving those tires knowing that you were eventually going to catch him?
So going from the very first run of the race, kind of going in, I'll cut it into really 3 stages. So you had your first pit stop of the race, which was about 10 laps in, under caution. And immediately after that, there was another wreck. And in that position, I had gotten up to 7th. Tires were good, drove from 7th up to the lead in that one. And I was about the same. I was about 3 seconds back, was able to chase him down. under green. I'll be honest, the first green flag stop, I was very conservative getting onto pit road, lost a lot of time, and just had to track him down. Car drove real good. And the third, we get to the third stage, and as soon as I saw him pit, I didn't think I could make it on fuel, so I stayed out another lap or two, and it let him pull right up to me. And in the process of doing so, was just able to drive away. I know he had a little bit of damage on his car, and I hate the fact that he did, because it would have been real fun to see what it would have been like. He and I, two undamaged cars. We had a great run last week at Homestead, and unfortunately got taken out in a wreck. But man, I tell you, I think it's going to be definitely fun between he and I running this year. And I originally didn't even want to commit to the Cup cars. I originally said I was going to go back and try to get that Xfinity Series championship, because I wasn't confident in these cars. And I won an A fixed race today, and then I won this one. And man, my confidence is through the roof.
Well, man, it should be. And the other thing that you won tonight, not just the paid entry into one of the races in the Cup Series coming up, but you also won the Hard Charger Award brought to you by Sparkle and Shine Mobile Detailing. So you won $10 just for making your way through the pack.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that there was bonus money. Sean, do me a favor. Take that money, donate it to Toys for Tots. Someone else needs it a lot more than I do.
Man, that's
We'll do
awesome, man.
that.
That's
We will
awesome.
do that. So, man, just a genuine guy, and I know I enjoyed having you on our team. Back when we were Striker Motorsports, I cannot wait to see what you do here with Roel Smith Racing, because it looks like you guys have a team that can compete with this thing.
Man, the biggest thing with it is, for a long time on iRacing, I was never very confident on 1.5 tracks. Last year in the Xfinity Series, it was a lot of 1.5 tracks. Almost won at Atlanta, finished second. I finished top 5 just about every other 1.5 track we went to, and then I won Las Vegas. And it's just, I mean, man, it's got me very pumped. I mean, I'm always excited to race anyway, but there's something about this upcoming season, man. I'm excited.
Man, it is going to
Well,
be
if
fun.
there was any sort of confidence, tonight definitely sealed that. I think you showed that you belong in the Cup car, and you belong that you can compete with these guys. So good luck next season, man, because I'm definitely going to be watching, man. That was an awesome run.
Hey, thank you guys. Like I said, I appreciate everything. Just want to thank everybody. From last season, I want to thank Brandon Browning for turning me on to the league, and Sean last year when we were Striker Motorsports. I once again want to thank you for having brought me into the league as your driver, and just an awesome group of talent here, awesome group of guys, and I'm ready to compete, man. Bring on January the 10th. Let's send it.
Sounds good, buddy. Well, we'll let you go and celebrate, and we will see you next week at Charlotte, and then that's going to be the last recruitment race before we get started.
Sounds good, man. You guys have yourself a great one. We will see you next week.
All
Yes,
right,
sir, man. Merry Christmas, man.
Christmas, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
all right. So Byron, we've had a really great race, but we've got another broadcast coming up tomorrow night, actually. So it's the Xfinity Series recruitment race from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yep, another great group of guys, man. My buddy Aaron Gerwitz, who put me onto the league, is the captain of our team for Red Racing. I know as a team, we're ready to go as far as Xfinity drivers. So definitely excited to see how that goes out tomorrow night, and really ready to get, like he said, I'm ready to get the season going. I already got my calendar marked January 6th. It's going down. So I'm excited.
And once again, those of you that weren't here a little bit earlier, so we are going to have a group training session with Kane Cook, one of the Coca-Cola Series drivers, and also he has won more Hard Charger awards on iRacing than anyone else. So he's going to teach us how to work your way through the pack and how to really adjust on the fly while you're driving these fixed setup cars. But he is going to have a group training session for 10 people, only 10 people. It's going to be $15 a person, and that will be Saturday, December 26th. So don't forget about that. It's going to be a good Christmas present. So for those family members out there watching this, consider getting that as a good good Christmas present for your driver. So should be a lot of fun. But Byron, I appreciate you being up here with me tonight, man.
Man, I had a blast. We worked our way through it. It was my first time broadcasting and being in the booth. I appreciate you allowing me up here, man, and appreciate shout out to the guys that raced tonight, because that was a great race to put on for the show.
Well, man, we will do it again. But for right now, my name's Sean Griffith with Byron McDonald, and we will let you guys go. Have a fantastic evening. We'll see you tomorrow night at Charlotte for the Xfinity race.